everybody, what's up? Thank you for watching my video today. I thought I would just do something fun. I like to bake a lot, so I decided that I would make some apple cookies today. I have this recipe, I've already tried it once, and today I'm going to be modifying it by adding some craisins and some nutmeg. And I'm really excited because I think that these are going to be some really good Christmas cookies. So I'm not really gonna do a demonstration video. I'm really just gonna be making cookies and talking to you guys at the same time. I will tell you what the recipe is if you guys want to write it down, but I'm not gonna go as far as, hey, you know what? Never mind. I will write the recipe in the description just in case anybody wants to make these cookies themselves. So with that, let's get started. So I forgot to start preheating the oven before I started recording. So there, now we got the oven preheating. And I got my recipe back here, so if I look back a lot, it's just because I'm looking at my recipe. I don't know this recipe by heart yet. I think give me a few more times and I'll probably be able to whip these cookies up with my eyes closed. So we're going to start with 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now they say that you have to be they said in the instructions, but I think this was because the instructions I was using were beginner cooking recipe instructions to use a knife to level out the amount of flour, but I'm pretty good at baking already. I know what I need to do, so man, I hope that this video comes out good because this is the first time that I'm doing something while making my video at the same time. Alright, and I need the same amount, 1 1/4 cup of flour is what I put in. And you're also going to put 1 1/4 of old-fashioned rolled oats. Just because it's easier to scoop with the little one. And to pat it down. Doot, 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 doot. I'm just going to set all my ingredients back here. Okay. In a mixing bowl, whisk together flour, oats, cinnamon, baking soda, and salt. So we need a tisp. Do you guys say tisp? Like, who says tisp, really? Well, we need a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I'm going to add, just because I'm modifying this recipe, I'm not going to go too overboard with it and do too much. So I'm just going to add, and because nutmeg is quite strong, I just kind of want the essence of it. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Oh, it smells so good. I love nutmeg. Nutmeg is one of my favorite spices, but don't even get me started on the smell of fresh ginger. OMG. The smell of fresh ginger makes me so happy. I forgot to grab my salt. Here we go. Some salt. Now, how much of this do we need? It says we need 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then it says to whisk it for 20 seconds. For about 20 seconds. Whisk it together for about 20 seconds. Now the next part is going to be pretty loud, so I don't know. I might cut it out of the video, or I might just make you guys suffer through it. I have like it's a great stand mixer, but it's just loud. It's not like too great for videos because it is like super duper loud. I've used it before when I broadcast on like live sites and stuff like that, and people have complained about it. But I might just trim it out of this video just because it is super loud and I don't want to do that to you guys. But I will, like, I'll just trim it out for the mixing the butter and sugar together. And then when I'm blending the dry into the wet, you guys will be able to hear how annoying this sound is. So, a half a cup of unsalted butter and 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm wondering if my butter is soft enough. Let me soften this in the microwave for like a couple seconds. So while that's happening, because I did this recipe earlier in the week, and it's a really good recipe, but it's like one of those recipes where with all baking, you should be as precise as possible. But I found that with this recipe, being precise isn't going to make or break the recipe that we're doing today. That's why I'm having a little fun and adding some stuff to it, like a little bit of nutmeg and some raisins, because I thought that it would be kind of nice to try out some Christmas cookies way before I start thinking about what Christmas cookies I'm going to be making for my family and friends. So I love to bake, and so I thought that doing a baking video would be fun as well, because then I can stand here in my kitchen and talk to you guys and make a video about it, since I'm going to be trying to post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I kind of have to come up with content, and so I thought I would do, maybe on Wednesdays, I would do a will it bake or what can I make kind of thing on Wednesdays. So I might be doing videos where I'm baking, or I might be doing videos where I'm cooking dinner, or like just making some kind of food. And then I was thinking that maybe on Fridays I would do something crafty. All right, so I know it's supposed to be softened butter, but having it a little like half and half won't be terrible either. But let's see how this will do now. 3/4. So I'm going to put this in here. Why do I always get super burpy when I'm making videos for you guys? And so I'm using 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. And with the sugar, I like to be pretty precise, but I'd rather put less than more, especially since I'm adding things like apples and cranberries. I don't want it to be overly sweet, and I don't want to give like a butt ton of sugar to my son. So here we go. Okay, so zipping it up did absolutely nothing because it didn't zip up. So it's a good thing I checked it before maybe I should stop trying to squeeze the air out of it too. There we go. Oh, I love when stuff has, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. We'll definitely have to try this. Sour cream coffee cake. I think I might know what we might try next. Let's see. Chopped walnuts, pecans, or hazelnuts is the first. Oh, that's for the topping. But still, that's like the first ingredient I read was like nuts, and I love nuts. all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, butter or margarine, brown sugar, eggs, sour cream, vanilla. See, that's not too many things. I could definitely do this. I could do this all day. I almost have all the ingredients for this too. I don't know why I stacked everything over here, but I'm going to need to move everything from over here to over there because I need to be able to open my oven to put all my stuff in it. So, I prepared for this. I prepared to do this video and bake with you guys, and I still don't have everything I need. Got it. So for this recipe, it does say to use a paddle. So, okay. So you guys are about to hear how loud this thing is. So I really hope that it doesn't break you guys, okay? Sorry, there was a bug on my screen. See, it's not too bad, but it is kind of loud. So, I don't know. You guys let me know if it's too loud or too bothersome to keep it on or keep it in my videos. Because I want to keep a lot of my videos as pure as they are. Because, especially with baking stuff, you have something happening and you're doing something else. You're not just, you know what I mean? Like, you have other things that you're doing while you're baking. So the sugar and the butter are going to cream together. And while they're creaming, I'm going to mix my egg and my vanilla extract together. So we're going to mix 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You know what I just realized I didn't do? Shoot. I didn't add my baking soda. Okay, cool. I don't even need to use the same thing. I need to use this one. So we got our baking soda now. We'll mix it into our dry ingredients. I got this song stuck in my head. I've had it stuck in my head all day, but I can't sing it because then I'll get copyrighted. So it's the I can tell you what song it is though. It's the Lady Gaga and Christian Bale song from that movie that they did, Shallow. Oh my god, I love Tell me not that, like, when you listen to that song, you were hearing, like, Lady Gaga's most purest, beautiful voice that she's ever done in her whole life, in her whole career. It is so beautiful. And who out there knew that Christian Bale could sing? Because I never would have guessed that Batman had it in him like that. That would literally be like somebody telling me Ben Affleck is gonna star in a musical. I'd be like, what? Excuse me? It's like they passed up Zac Efron for Ben Affleck. What? Did you hear about that? Does anybody else know about that, or is that just me? That when they were thinking about doing Ben Affleck as Batman, there was rumor that it could have been Zac Efron. Or is that just my small group of friends dreaming that Zac Efron would be Batman because Batman's like all of our sexual fantasies? That just might be me and my group of friends. Okay, so I'm gonna do this just a little bit longer. Okay, so we got the sugar and the butter cream together. So I'm making cookies, Bubbies. No, you don't need to try. I love you too, Bubbies. That's nutmeg.
Oh, nutmeg.
Yeah. You want to smell it? You want to smell the nutmeg? Smell it. Tell me what you think. Does it smell good? No? You don't like it? Did you blow it into your eye? Okay, go sit down. Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh. I think I just broke my phone. I had it sitting on top of the oven. Oh my goodness. Why would I do something like that? I have no idea. Oh, I really hope that I didn't just break it. Oh my. Okay, it's turning back on, but I think it shut off because I just, that was wrong. That was bad, Holly. Okay. So now that I got most of this stuff used and moved out of my way, that's my phone coming on. Thank goodness. Okay, so this is gonna go on top of here. This is like one of the coolest features of my mixer. I love it. It makes me happy because it just sits on here and I can like spoon my dry ingredients into it without making a huge mess and without turning the mixer off. So I can try to do this all in like one motion so it's not too much for you guys. So let me move. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's super hot, but it's okay. Let me move my recipe. Look at this, guys. This is like one of the coolest things I've made. It's just a little brick. It's a piece of wood that I stained with food coloring. And then I cut these little grooves in. I know that only one is straight, but like 1 in 4 men is only 1 in 4 men are straight anymore anyway. So it kind of works out. But I made this to sit on my countertop so that I can put my spoons and stuff on it. I can't show you because I have my camera set up in like a very specific kind of way right now. Okay. Okay. My counter space is not big enough for all of this. All right. So we already creamed the brown sugar and butter together. We've mixed our egg and vanilla extract together, which is going to be the next thing we put in. So let's put that in now. Okay. No, don't touch that. You need to stop, Travis. I already asked you to be good while I'm filming, right? I told you that I was filming before I came out here to do it, right? And you said that you would stay in your room and sit and be good. Remember that? Oh, I need to stop doing that. I do that all the time. See, Travis? I'm going to blame that on you. All right. So I'm going to add my dry... Can you go put that in the sink for Mama?
Oh.
Thank you, Bubbies. I know I talked about this thing and then I didn't even use it. I've had this bowl for like as long as I can remember. This has been in every kitchen that I've ever lived in. And it is literally the heaviest bowl I have ever had in my whole life. I probably have this bowl for the rest of my life. But if you're going to make things that you need cold dough for, you put this in the freezer for like an hour and it will stay cold until like the cows come home. It just does not get hot. Like even touching it now after doing all that I did, like it's not hot. It's nice and cool to the touch, and it's a great bowl for a lot of things. It is just super heavy. I wish you guys could actually. I know it looks light because I'm holding it and like carrying it, but this thing is like at least like 5 pounds a bowl. You don't even know what 5 pounds is, Bubbies. You have no concept of weight or time. You kiki. Okay. So we're almost done with the mixer. Let's just give this another good mix. While this is mixing, I will be right back. I gotta go get a strainer for the apples. Okay, here's my apples. So for this recipe, it says that you'll need a cup of finely chopped apples. Chopped and peeled. So I have all my apples here. It's definitely more than a cup, but I wanted to be, I had a half an extra apple, and I was like, I could just eat this half an extra apple, or I could put it in the cookies and make them a little bit more appley, since last time I felt like there wasn't quite as many apples as I thought there should be. So I found the other day that 2 small apples chopped and peeled are roughly around a 1 cup, give or take. So I probably have 1.5 cups of apples here. So I had them sitting in water. The recipe calls to soak them in lemon juice, but I forgot to pick up lemons yesterday when I went to the store. So I just used very cold water to try to keep it from browning, and that's what it's for, is to keep the apples from browning while you're waiting to put them in the recipe. So if you just put them in some cold water and put them in the fridge, as you can see, they don't get that brown. They're going in the oven anyway. So even the cookies that I made the other day are really good. Travis, Bubbies, I need you to stop screaming because I'm filming. Do you understand? So we got the apples drained of all the water, which it makes this really it's like soft apple juice. It's good. It's worth drinking if you're into that. Travis doesn't like apple juice. Apple juice gives me heartburn personally, so I'm not going to drink it. But so we're going to add our apples to our mix. This is the last step that you do before you bake them, because of course the apples have a lot of water in them, You don't want all the water to seep. Sorry, I really gotta stop doing that. I'm so sorry. You don't want too much of the water to seep into your batter before you get them. And I'm gonna add, I'm gonna eyeball about a half a cup of dried cranberries or craisins into my recipe. You can go a little bit more, you can go a little bit less, but I like craisins. I think when I think about Christmas time, craisins and cranberries are one of the number one things that I think of. So I really thought that this would be a good addition to this recipe. So let me mix these up. This is going to be really loud because I got to put it on the highest thing. All right, nice, beautiful. So now we can take the paddle off of this because we don't need it anymore. We're not going to be mixing this up anymore. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I really don't. Okay. Scrape the sides. Get it all out of there. See, this is totally new to me too, because usually when I'm baking, I'm by myself. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not thinking about anybody else. I'm just in the zone baking stuff. So this is quite new for me too. So I'm sorry if this isn't my best video. And I do hope to get better and better at these videos as time goes on. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me. But let's, I'm not gonna wait for them to be baked because it takes 22 minutes for each batch to bake. But I will be posting pictures on my Instagram if you guys want to see how they came out there. It's holly.acres.2188. I'll also leave a link in the description in the bottom along with the recipe, which is super long. So I'll just write the ingredients and the amount of ingredients, and you guys can pretty much tell what you have to do by watching the video. So that's the only part I'm going to put in it. I'm sorry if you guys want any more information. It's apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. I got the recipe off of Google. I just simply Googled apple cookies, and this was one of the first recipes that came up. I am modifying it today to my own specifications for my own taste with craisins and nutmeg. So if you guys have watched the video all the way up to this point, then you know what ratios I used of each thing and why I chose to do it. So let's get some of these cookies on a pan, on a cookie sheet, I mean, and let's get them in the oven. Oh, give me a second. For a second, I was like, wait, where's my pan? And I forgot that it was out there next to the sink. So you're just going to use parchment paper. I really like this parchment paper because it has these little squares on them. And you just, I don't know if you guys do this, but I like to cut it so that it kind of fits right inside my pan. And I am going to put these, it says every 2 inches. But the way that I was doing this recipe, the way I was doing this recipe the other day, I kind of just did I did 4 rows of 3 going the vertical way. So 3 going down, and I left them quite thick, and they came out like nice and moist and cakey, almost like I want to say it was kind of like apple pie, but it's not. It's kind of like an apple pie cake kind of thing. It's really good though. So it says to use a medium cake scoop. If you have one, I'm using a regular tablespoon. I like using a tablespoon for most drop cookies because usually I like to make them a little cakier and thicker than what they suggest in the recipe, which is the only thing with that is that you have to add more time to the baking time if you're going to make them thicker, because you don't want them to be too soft in the middle, and of course you want to make sure that all the flour is cooked all the way through. So I'm going to take, here, I'll show you guys. I'm going to take a good spoonful like this. This is a good spoonful. And I'm going to line my pan. I'm not going to push them down too far. They will spread out a bit in the oven, but they're not going to crowd each other or get too close to each other. You'll still be able to pick them up and stuff like that. Let me get all of these lined up. I could have gone closer to the edge on the top one. Let me get these all lined up and nice. And then I'll show you guys, and that will be the end of my video. So while I'm doing this, let me just talk to you guys a little bit about, just let me know what you guys think, alright? Like, comment, subscribe. I haven't got any subscribers yet, so if you want to be my first subscriber, I would really appreciate that. I have my Snapchat and my Instagram. You guys are more than welcome to go and look me up on there.